If you thought some pre-Euro currencies were no longer good, well, hopefully after watching this video, you'll think again about that. Hey friends, Woohoo here once again, and recently for my local coin club, I did a presentation on pre-Euro currencies, specifically ones that are still able to be exchanged for euros. So I thought I'd show you a little bit about what I've got that could still technically be exchanged. Now, I want to preface this by saying there are some countries that the deadline has passed to exchange coins. Other countries only exchange banknotes, and some will still exchange coins in addition to their banknotes. The ones I'm going to talk to you about right now are the ones only where the coins are still exchangeable. I will, however, make a note of where you can still exchange banknotes, but more on that in a little bit. Right now, let's take a closer look at some of these countries. I'll put the camera down and I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. I got all the coins laid out right here. Not much has changed. I'm going to start with a closer look at some of these, but with actually the newest member of the Eurozone, Bulgaria. Just joined earlier this year in 2026, if you're watching shortly after this video has come out. There's a few denominations that I have right here, and there's also a 2 lev coin that I do not have, and there may be a couple of other denominations as well that I'm not familiar with. But let's take a quick look at these. So you have the 5 stotinki in the year 2000. I think these all have similar motifs. Here's a 10 stotinki with the same rider on a horse with Bulgaria in the Cyrillic alphabet. Here's a 50 stotinki, same motif. And then this bimetallic 1 lev coin from 2002 with a saint on it of some description, right there. So, and again, there is a 2 lev coin that I do not have with the coloration of the bimetallic design reversed. I think it's a similar motif on the other side of that one, but I don't have that one yet. So that's Bulgaria right there. 1 euro equals about 1 lev and 96 stotinki, roughly. So right now, the coins you see right there, I have a little less than 1 euro. And the exchange rate is the exact same for the German mark. These denominations that you see right there, 1 Pfennig, 2 Pfennig, and all of those have a little oak sprig on the other side. There's the 5 and the 10, a little bit larger than the 5, but the same overall composition. That's a nice one there. The 50 Pfennig is a little bit different with a different design, but all with that motif of the oak sapling there, representing, I suppose, a new beginning for German democracy after World War II. Oak leaves on the 1 Deutschmark coin. And the 2 Deutschmark I have here, I think, is a commemorative. There are different designs for the 2 mark, as you can see right there. And then big old 5 mark here with a big old eagle on it. So these are still exchangeable for euros at a rate of the same as in Bulgaria. 1 mark 96 Pfennig, roughly. So we'll basically call that about 2 to 1. Now, unlike Bulgaria, I have way more German marks, as you can see. There's a whole stack of 10s. I have a 5 and a few 1s and a few more 50s and a few more 1 and 2 Pfennig that I'm not even going to bother putting on camera. But like I said, about 2 to 1 to the euro, from the mark to the euro. So just looking at that spread that I have right there, I mean, that's a pretty penny right there that I have. Nothing to retire on, of course, but still available nonetheless. Down the bottom, we have Austrian coins. These are still exchangeable for euros at a rate of about 13 shilling and 71 groschen. To the euro. And there are 2 denominations that are still exchangeable that I do not have, that being the 2 groschen and the bimetallic 50 shilling. But we can look at these. In the meantime, we have the 5 groschen. I think this is zinc, but the example that I have here, still look at that. That's still got some nice luster to it. The aluminum 10 groschen. Very interesting design, I like. We have a 50 groschen here. Very simplistic with just a simple little flower peeking out of the 0. And a shield, or a scutcheon, if you will. The 1 shilling with the Edelweiss that followed onto the 1 euro cent from Austria, if I'm not mistaken, the 1, 2, and the 5. We have here 5 shilling. Almost a similar motif to Bulgaria right there, just facing the other way. They could have a joust. There's the 5 and the 10. And I also have a 20. And again, like I said, there is a 50 shilling that's bimetallic that was also exchangeable, but I don't have one of those. I do have a little, some extra shillings off to the side, but there is also one denomination that I have here that is actually not exchangeable for euros because it was demonetized well before the changeover. This is a 2 shilling coin from 1946. They only produced about 10 years worth of these, and because it was not current at the time of the changeover, you can't exchange this coin for euros. So that's one notable exception to the exchange rule down there. There is one lone coin over here that I'll briefly touch on here. This is Lithuania, 20 centu. And this coin right here is not worth very much. Lithuania has an exchange rate of 3 litas 45 centu to the euro. Although these are exchangeable still, this one probably would not yield very much. But I leave it here as an interesting little curiosity that is still exchangeable. And then up top we have Irish punts or pounds. That are still exchangeable. There's a halfpenny denomination that I do not have, but the 1, 2, 5, 10, 20, 50 pence, as well as the £1 coin over here. They all have the Irish harp on the other side with the year of mintage. And then Ireland also transitioned from a pre-decimal pound prior to the introduction of the euro. So the pre-decimal coins actually are still exchangeable as well, just at a different proportion than the decimal ones that you see down there. This is actually a decimal 5 pence, but as you can see, it's slightly different than the smaller version. So when you exchange these coins, you can fill out a mail application if you have a European bank account and mail the coins into the post. And they can either credit you in cash or they can credit you with a deposit into your bank account. There are some central banks that you can actually take the coins into their central bank and use a machine, like a Coinstar machine, if you will, to load everything in, and they'll pay you out in cash at the counter. Austria has that option at their bank branch, central bank branch in Vienna. Not sure if any of the other banks do, but that is also an option for you if you happen to be in Vienna. Now, these are just the countries. That I have that still exchange coins. There are 2 countries here that I do not have, where they also still exchange for euros. Those being Estonia and Latvia. I think I actually do have a Latvian coin somewhere. I just don't know what I did with it. But those still exchange for euros. Estonia at a rate of 15 kroon, about 65 to the euro, and Latvia at a rate of 70 centimu to the euro. There are lots, interestingly, like the Irish pound, was actually worth more than a euro at the time of the changeover. Speaking of Ireland, I neglected to mention about 78, 79 pence to the euro. So this is another one where the the unit at the time was worth more than €1 at the time of the changeover. So the Irish pound probably worth about €1.25 at the time of the changeover. So anyway, those are the countries that still exchange coins. If you'll give me a second, I'll clear this away and I'll show you a couple of countries where you can still exchange banknotes. I don't have the actual banknotes, but I do have coins from those countries that you can take a look at. Okay, I'm back, and as you can see, I've got some more coins. First, I want to point out, I did in fact have a Latvian coin on me here, 20 santimu from 1992, and about 70 santimu at the time equaled €1. So these are still technically exchangeable for euros. So just thought I'd point that out before we continue on. Anyway, I'll put that off to the side. These are coins from countries where, although the coin exchanging deadline has passed, the banknote exchanging deadline has not yet been reached. The one notable exception being the Netherlands, which you can still exchange banknotes until 2032. At a rate of about 2.2 gulden per euro. But that's besides the point. I thought I'd show you a few of these. First of all, one lone coin from Slovenia. Slovakia is over. We'll get to that in a minute. But 10 Tolariev from the year 2000. The Slovenian tolar was exchangeable at a rate of about 240 tolar to the euro. So this was about, if I'm doing my math right, about 4 euro cents. But that's that one over there. And since I mentioned Slovakia, those are over here. We have 1, 2, and 10 koruna, or crowns, I guess, if you want to use the English term there. 1, 2, and 10. Slovenska Republika on either side there, and those were exchangeable at a rate of about 30 to the euro. So we have almost, not quite 50 euro cents right here with these three coins. All right, so two of those countries out of the way, and then we have on the table here, down here is Croatia, one of the newer members of the Eurozone, having adopted the euro in 2023. The coin exchanging deadline was at the very end of 2025 at a rate of about 7.5 kuna to the euro. So if I just pick up and there, all these coins right here in my hand roughly equals €1. Banknotes, as I mentioned, still remain exchangeable. So from kuna to the euro. And interestingly, these all have different animals and plants on them, or at least the kuna denominated coins had animals on them, whereas the lipa, or the cent equivalent, had plants on them. So you see we have a tuna, we have a bear. I think these, I'm not sure what these are. I'm not sure what that one is either, but plants, as you can see. You have either some Latin text or Croatian text, depending on the year of mintage, but the overall design is the same. If we want to look at some of the other Croatian coins here, a very, very tiny one, lipa. This is straight up aluminum. You see we have some corn right there. So that's the lowest denomination coin. And then we have the 1 kuna coin, which has some kind of bird on it. And as you can see, this right here demonstrates the Latin versus the Croatian text, as you can see right there. So there you go, 1 kuna, and then another 5 kuna for good measure. This one with Croatian text. So there's Croatia. And what we have left right here is Belgium and Luxembourg. And they have the exact same exchange rate because they're so close in proximity to each other, about 40 franc and 34 cents, or centimes, to €1. So basically, these two coins right here equaled €1 with a little bit of change. And Belgium, let's not forget, had basically two different varieties of the same coin to collect, better illustrated with these right here. As you can see, if I punch in, you see Belgique on one side and Belgique on the other. So we have a Dutch inscription and we have a French inscription. And sometimes they were minted in the same year, as you can see here, 1986, both ways. but the overall design elements were still the same, as you can see right there. So there's the 5, one of the newer 5s anyway. This is one of the older 5s. You can still see Belgique, Belgique, but the design was a little bit different, and the colors were a little bit different. More or less 10 to 15 years prior to the ones I just showed you. Now, I mentioned Luxembourg because their coins were minted to the exact same sizes as the Belgian coins, and in fact frequently co-circulated within Belgium. As you can see here, there's a 5 franc coin from 1986, Luxembourg on the left, Belgium on the right, and they are more or less the same size, but very different designs, as you can see right there, but worth the same. I'll get into more of that in a little bit after I show you the 50 franc from Belgium, worth just a little bit more than €1 at the time of the changeover. A little tiny 1 franc, 1989, which with King Baudouin the First, and then even some 50 centimes right there. And this one also, you can see Belgique versus Belgique across the top. So there, and then some older 1 franc coins as well, the same similar design as the 5 franc ones from the 70s that I showed you a little while ago. And then some older Luxembourg coins. We saw both of those already. We have a 10 franc, 1974, right there. And an older 1 franc from 1939, which is one of the older coins I have. The Luxembourg also has 25 centimes coins that were in circulation at the time. I just didn't happen to get them out prior to showing you this video. But anyway, so that's a little tour through pre-Euro coinage, or at least the countries that still accept euros. The only country I really didn't show you was the Netherlands, but I'm going to put a link up to some videos over there with the Coin Dictionary, the other channel I contribute to, where you can get an up-close and personal look at those coins as well. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this look at the pre-Euro coinage, and I'll see you next time when I've got another coin-related topic or other world coin purchases to talk about. I'll see you all soon.